Good morning, students. Myself Swati Thakre, your science teacher. Students, before starting today's session, here I wanted to talk with you on some points. So, students, first of all, tell me there are certain students who drop their assignments, their worksheets, and their notes, that is, writing notes, on the Google Drive. But few of the students they are not doing so. So I request all these students, those who are not dropping their notes, assignments, and worksheet. So students, you have to drop or send that JPG form of images of your worksheet, also your notes, writing notes, and the assignments on the Google Drive of yourself. So students, so that I'll be check all these submissions. Okay, so I hope you all doing study well, students. You all get all the topics which we have seen in the previous sessions. But here I thought that there is one topic regarding the lesson number 14, lightning. In that, the lightning topic is somehow difficult as far as your side is concerned. So from your point of view, I think that this topic is little bit difficult to understand. So here I in today's session I'm taking this topic so that the doubts which you have regarding these topics also getting cleared. Okay, and you will get this topic more easily if we revise again. Okay, students, now in today's session we are going to revise, or we are going to take the lesson number 14. Okay, the topic of lesson number 14 is lightning. We just revise some of the topics of this lesson, and I hope you will get all these topics. Okay, students, so let's start. So students, lightning, before lightning there are concept, that is the static charges. Okay, in this chapter we have seen that what are the charges. There are two type of charges, students. What are these? Positive charge and a negative charge. Okay, so students, there is, suppose our atmosphere possesses lots of molecules which has the atoms. Okay, and that atom possesses the proton. That protons have the positive charge, and the electrons have the negative charge. Okay, they are present around the nucleus. Who are present around the nucleus? Electrons. Okay, so protons and neutrons present in the nucleus. So we have seen all these topics regarding the charges. So we have also seen certain experiments. That means we have seen certain experimental theories. That means some of the practicals which we seen, that possesses also certain static charges information. So students, here in today's session we are going to just revise what are the static charges. Okay, so we have studied when the charges move through metal wire. Okay, they constitute the electric current. So what is the relationship between these charges and the electricity? See students, over here, electricity, it is a form of energy. Okay, it is the form of energy which is produced by the charges. So what are these charges? Static electricity and current electricity. Okay, whenever the charges are flow in particular direction, they constitute the electric current. Okay, so what are the static charges and what is the current electricity? See the basic difference between these two, students. Here, static charges or the static electricity means the charges which are at rest. Okay, and the current electricity means the charges which are moving. So see over here students, it is the accumulation of excess electric charges, whether that charges are positive or negative, but it is the accumulation of excess electric charges on a body. So the charges are transferred from one body to another and remain at rest on its surface. Whenever these charges are transferred from one body to another body, they transfer, but after transferring to that another body, they remains at the rest on that surface of the body. Okay students, see over here, this is the example. This we have also seen in our are the previous sessions of this lesson. For example, comb rub with hair gains electrons. Okay, whenever you rub this comb on your hair, what will happen students? That comb possesses certain, or that comb gains certain electrons, and as it gains electrons, what is the charge of electrons students? Negatively charged. So it becomes negatively charged and it attracts the pieces of paper. Whenever you rub the comb on your hair and place that comb towards the, or keep that comb towards the pieces of paper, what will happen? That pieces of paper get attract towards this comb. So is there any magic students? No. So what is that? It is the charges which attracts, means the charges which are acquired by the comb are negatively charges, and also the paper, the pieces of paper possesses positively charges. So we have seen that whenever there are unlike charges, that is positive charge and a negative charge, what will happen students? They get attract with each others. Okay, so by this principle, here also in this example, whenever the comb is rubbed with the hair, it gains electrons and becomes negatively charged. And due to that negatively charge, it attracts the pieces of paper. Okay students, so this is all about the static charges in short. Now the current electricity. What is the relationship between these charges and this current electricity? See students, flow of free electrons charges, free electrons or the charges in a particular direction constitute an electric current or the current electricity. Whenever these electrons flow in a particular direction, at that time they constitute any electric current or the current electricity. See students here, see this is the flow of direction over here. This is the cell, this is positive terminal of cell, negative terminal of the cell, and the charges are flown in this fashion. See these are the flow of electrons. Okay, due to which this this bulb gets lighted. Okay, so whenever these charges, electrons flow in a particular direction, they constitute the electric current. Okay, now next is how these charges are formed. Here I have already told you that whenever you rub this comb on your head hair, what will happen? That comb gains certain electrons or charges. So how these charges are formed students? See, do you know what is common between an electric cell? See student, it is the by mistakenly, this is spelling mistake, so please ignore it. Do you know what is common between an electric cell, a bolt of lightning and a glowing bulb? Okay, so it is the electricity. Okay students, what is common between these three things? That is electric cell, a bolt of lightning and a glowing bulb. What is common in these three things? The common is electricity. Okay, so an electric cell is a fish that makes its own electricity. Okay, so lightning is a spark of electricity in the air. So what is lightning? Lightning, it is also a spark of electricity in the air. And bulb, see, in case of electric cell, it is the fish that makes its own electricity. In case of bolt of lightning, what is the lightning? It is the spark of electricity in the air. And in case of glowing bulb, the bulb uses electricity to glow. So students, electricity is a form of energy which produces the charges. Okay, so these charges can be at rest or moving, whatever may be their position, whether that charges are in a rest state or they are moving. So let us find out how charges can be at rest or why they are moving. Okay, so we have to here find out how these charges are in the rest state or how they are in the moving state. See, comb rub with hair gains electrons. Okay, whenever comb rub with hair gains electrons, becomes negatively charged and attracts the pieces of paper. Here, the charges are transferred from one body to another. That means whenever you rub the comb on your hair, the electrons which are present in your hair that are transferred to that comb. Okay, so the charges are transferred from one body to another and remain at rest on the surface of body. That is, it is the static electricity. Static means to rest. Okay, so this is the static electricity. So the one main use of static electricity is in printers. Okay, where the static electricity is used, it is used in the printers and the photocopies, where static electric charges are attract the ink or the toner to that paper. That's why we get the print of any soft copy. So other uses include paint, sprayers, air filters and the dust removal. So these are also certain other uses of the static electricity. So students, learn about how these charges can be transferred by the different methods. So it is the additional information how these charges are transferred by different methods. You have to just remember student, this is not these methods are not in your textbook, but it is the additional information which you also have to know about these charges. So how these charges can be transferred by the different methods? These three methods are charging by the friction. Whenever we rub two things on with each other, at that time that two things get the charges. Charging by the conduction method and charging by the induction method. So, the American Benjamin Franklin carried out extensive electricity research in 18th century. Okay, inventing the lightning rod amongst these many discoveries. Who invent the lightning rod? The scientist, American scientist Benjamin Franklin. This we have also seen in our regular lectures. Okay. So what is this lightning rod? So these lightning rods protect the buildings in the event of lightning. Whenever there is lightning, these lightning rods protect the building. Okay. So in the event of lightning, by conducting the lightning strikes through a ground wire. What does this rod do? This rod conducts the lightning strike through the grounded wire, and a spark of static electricity can be measured thousands of volts but has very little current and lasts for short period of time. See students, the spark which is formed during the static electricity, it can be measured thousands of volts. Okay, so but it has very little current and lasts for a short period of time. This means it has a little power or the energy. Okay, so this is all about the charges. You have to just remember what is important in this chapter, students. What are the charges? Okay, that is positive charge, negative charge, and how these charges attracts whenever the opposite charges are there, unlike charges are there, that is positive charge and the negative charge. And when these opposite charges come together, they attracts with each other, and whenever there are the same charges, that is positive charge and other positive charge, what will happen, students? They get repel with each other. Okay, this you have to just here remember for this chapter. And also, what is the static charges? Okay, you have to know that what is the static charges. Static charges are the charges which are at rest. Okay, students. So see here, in earlier classes we have studied that when charges move through a metal wire, they constitute electric current. This I have already told you that, students, when the charges move through a metal wire, suppose we also say that any of the things possess the charges or acquires the charges, just like the comb. Whenever it rub on the hair, that comb acquires the charges. But whenever these charges are moved in a wire, not are present on the comb, whenever these charges are moved through a metal wire, at that time they constitute the electric current. So the electric current passing through a wire produces the light. Okay, we have seen that in our home, when we switched on, what will happen? The light glows up. So what is that? The electric current is passed through that metal wire, due to which we get the glowing of bulb. Okay, and heat means the for example electric heater. In this case also, due to the electricity we get the heat. So however, there are certain charges which when acquired by the object on rubbing remain on object and do not move away. Whenever we rub two things at that time, the charges are remain on that object, they cannot move. Okay, so such charges are called as static charges. Okay, students. So the sudden accumulation of static charges on the surface of material sometimes causes the electric shock. So why we get the electric shock, students? Whenever these static charges, these raised charges are accumulate on the surface of any material, whenever these charges are accumulate, what will happen? It also causes the electric shock. Okay, how it is? See, students, sometimes on suddenly touching a doorknob, you get an electric shock. Okay, whenever you touch sometimes to the doorknob, what will happen? We feel that we are getting the electric shock. Why this is so? This is due to the accumulation of static charges on it. Okay, also sometimes when you take off your silk clothes, you see some spark in the cloths, and your hair and you hear the cracking sounds. Okay, this is also happen in case of you, students. What happens when you take off your silk cloths? What will happen? You see some of the spark in the cloth and hear some crackling sound. Okay, so what is that? That is because of the accumulation of static charges on it. So when you come from a walk and take off your woolen hat, suddenly all your hair stands up. When you come from a walk and take off the woolen hat, okay, what is woolen hat? So what will happen at that time? Your hair gets stands up. So this is also the example of where the sudden accumulation of charges on the hair occurs. Okay, so students, here I hope you all get this term, that is the static charges. Okay, now what is the electroscope, students? What is electroscope? Electroscope, it is the device that used to detect the presence of static charges on the body. See students, just we have seen that there are the certain static charges which are present or which are at a rest state in the on the body, on the surface of the body. So if we have to detect whether this, whether that object possesses or whether any body possesses the static charges or not, we have to find out these static charges. So how we can find out these static charges? There is a device that is known as electroscope, which can be used to detect this presence of static charges on the body. So what is this electroscope, students? See over here, this is the figure of electroscope. Okay, so what is this electroscope, students? This is a gold leaf electroscope. It is the simplest electroscope, students. It is used to present, or it is used to detect the presence of static charges on the body. So what does it consist, students? What is the construction of this gold leaf electroscope? It consists of a metal rod with two gold leaves. See over here, it is the metal rod which possesses these two gold leaves. Okay, attached to its bottom end. These leaves are attached to its bottom end, and a metal knob at its top end. This is the metal knob which is at the top end, and at the other end these two are the gold leaf which are attached over here. Okay, now this whole assembly is packed inside a glass chamber. Okay, this whole assembly is packed inside the glass chamber, only keeping the metal knob outside. Only this metal knob is outside and whole assembly is inside a glass chamber, just like shown in this picture, students. So the object on which the presence of charges has to be detected must be brought in contact with this electroscope's metal knob. What we have to do? We have to do the object on which we have to detect the or presence of charges. We have to detect that object must brought in contact with this metal knob. What will happen, students, if if that object possesses any charge? If any charge will be present on that object, then these will be flow through this metal rod. Okay, if any charges are present on that object, that charges will flow through this metal rod, and that flows to the towards these gold leaves. Okay, flows towards these gold leaves through this metal rod. So what will happen, students? Because of two similar kind of charges on the two gold leaves, they will get repel with each other and will get further apart. Okay, so this movement of these two gold leaves indicate that the object possesses certain charges. Okay, indicate that the electroscope's metal knob is charged object. Okay, why this metal knob getting charged? Because of the object which possess charge we kept nearer to this, and the charges which are present on the object get transferred to this metal knob, and from metal knob these charges flows towards these leaves, gold leaves, and due to the same charges, these leaves get away from each other. Okay, so from this experiment, what we have seen, students, as we observe in the electroscope, the static charges are transfer, okay, from one object to another by connecting them through this metallic conductor like electric wire or any metal rod. So this effect, that is the electric effect of these static charges, is known as static electricity. Okay, students, so friction or rubbing of any material together, it is the common way to produce this static electricity. Okay, students, got it? Now there is one concept, that is the discharging process. What is discharging process, students? See, the accumulation of static charges on an object is called charging process. Whenever there are charges are present on the object or any object gains the charges, what will happen then? That process is known as charging process. Okay, and whenever this static charge of body loses or transfer its charges to other, what will happen? That process is known as discharging process. Means loosening or the transfer of electrons or the transfer of its charge, that process is known as discharging process. Okay, see, students, over here, since human body can conduct electricity through it, therefore a static charge of object can be discharged through human body on touching it. Okay, students, whenever our body conduct electricity, our body also possesses certain charges. Okay, so whenever we touch any kind of object, what will happen? The charges which are present on our body get transferred to other body. Okay, so when we touch a static charge of body, what will happen? Suppose there is object which possesses certain charge and we touch that body or object, what will happen? That object gets discharged and its charges are goes down to the earth through our body. Okay, that charges comes to us, but through our body that charges goes to the earth. Okay, so however, only the movement of small amount of charges through the human body does not cause any electric shock. Okay, students, here you also one question arise, that whether these objects, when these objects transfer to our body, so we get the electric shock? No, students, because there is the movement of only small amount of charges which cannot which cannot harm to our body or which does not cause any electric shock. Okay, so the process of transferring the charges of charged body to the earth. Okay, the process of transferring the charge objects or the charges of charged body to the earth is called earthing. Again, I repeat, students, what is earthing? See, this is the definition, you have to underline it. The process of transferring charges of charged body to earth is called earthing. So whenever the charges are transferred from charged body to the earth, at that time we said that that process is known as earthing. So one can use the metal wires for earthing also. So this is all about the charges, static electricity, and the device which measuring these static charges, that is the electroscope. So here it is electroscope. See students, this is also figure of electroscope. Here it is the central idea or short note, or the in shortcut we summarize here what is electroscope. It is the instrument used to detect and compare the charges. It detects following things. What it detects, electroscope: whether the body is charged or not, whether the charge on the body is small or large, and the nature of charges. These all three things are detected by this electroscope. So, to detect and measure the charge on an object, when the electroscope is uncharged, the gold leaf hangs vertically. Okay, they are not away from each other. But when the charged body is brought in contact with the this metal disc, that is brass disc, the gold leaves moves apart or diverges. So the amount of divergence of leaf is measured of amount of charges on the object. If they move away from each other in very much distance, so we can say that there are large amount of charges present on the object. So charging the electroscope means charging can be charged by conduction or induction. Okay, so the leaf acquires the same charge as on the charge object and diverges. Whenever that object possesses charges get transferred to that leaves, so due to the same charges, that leaves get away from each other. So to find the nature of charge on the object, if we want to find the nature of charge, what kind of charge is present on the object, what will happen students? See, if divergence of the leaf increases, if these leaves are getting away from each other at very much distance, so the object has the same charges as the electroscope possess. Okay, but if the divergence of the leaf get decreases, means they are only getting away from each other but in little bit distance, so it has the opposite charges as the electroscope. Okay, so this is all about the electroscope. Now next one is the lightning. What is this process? Lightning. So students, lightning, what does lightning means? What is actually the definition of lightning? So lightning means a sparkling, okay, a sparkling light that falls from cloud towards the earth. What is lightning? A sparkling light that falls from clouds towards the earth. So what are the causes of lightning? See students, we have studied in earlier classes that during the summer season in humid conditions, the severe heating of the air by the sun produces very strong upward moving winds. Okay, what will happen in case of summer season students? There is the humid condition surrounding us. So what will happen in that condition? The heating of the air, because of the humid condition, the heating of the air by the sun produces very strong upward moving of winds. That is, the warm air is there because of the high heat of sun, so that air will move upward, and these winds carry with them the water content which is present in the air also, and due to which they can form the clouds. So as these winds move up, the water content changes into the droplets, because when we go in the upper side, the temperature goes on decreasing, and that air, that is warm air, which contains these air droplets, or which contains this water content, that will forms the cloud. Okay, as these winds move up, the water content changes into the droplets and get freezes. So these freeze droplets get fall down. So what will happen students? This is the process of raining. So during this downfall, what is happened, there occurs the interaction with the upward moving warm and humid air, causes the separation of positive and negative charges within the cloud. There is a charge which possesses the positive and negative charges, but due to the downfall, what will happen? The interaction with upward moving warm air, okay, and the humid air, okay, which these due to these two air interaction, there causes the positive and the negative charges within the cloud, and it has been found that these positive charges accumulate at the upper part of the cloud, okay. The upper part of the cloud possesses the positive charge, while the lower part possesses the negative charge. So what will happen, students? The positive charges also accumulate on the objects like the trees. Okay, the trees also possesses positive charges, buildings, metallic poles, which are the high things. Okay, uh, and that means which the things which are uh, high in case of their height. Okay, so these things, trees, buildings, metallic poles, mountains, etc., these also possesses the positive charges near the earth's surface. Okay, so as the magnitude of the negative charges on the lower part of the cloud grows, whenever these negative charges possess, these negative charges are present where? At the bottom side, okay, at the lower part of the cloud. Whenever these charges are getting more and more, they become closer and closer to each other, okay. They become closer and closer to the positive charges present near the earth's surface, okay. So they get attracted towards the positive charges which are present near the earth's surface, and these attraction between these opposite polarity charges causes the downward movement of these negative charges. Only these negative charges present on the cloud, but in the cloud these negative charges were situated, they are situated at the bottom side of the cloud. So these bottom side of the cloud, whenever these negative charges are more at that time, or they are goes increasing at the time, these negative charges get attracted towards the things which are present on the earth, which are very much high things, which possesses the positive charges. So these opposite charges get, these opposite charges, what will happen? Positive and negative charges meet together and they cause a spark. Okay, how the spark is formed? These negative charges which are present in the cloud get attracted towards the positive charges on the objects of the earth which are present, that is trees, buildings, okay. So they get attracted towards these charges and they causes the spark. So since the movement of charges takes place in the zigzag manner, so it produces the streaks of light. So these streaks of lights are what we call lightning. Okay, so these streaks of light, what are these? These are the lightning. So lightning produces the enormous or the large amount of heat. It excites the nearby air molecules and causes vibrations also. Hence we hear the thundering sound due to these vibrations, students. Okay, so it was again Benjamin Franklin, this American scientist, who showed that lightning is a kind of spark which is caused by the static charges on the clouds by his famous kite experiment. Okay, he first do one experiment, and in that experiment he found that there are certain static charges in the cloud which will attract towards the positive charges which are present on the objects on the earth. Okay, so in 1752, during thunderstorm, he raised a kite with a silk string, okay, tied it to a post. Means he raised the kite with a silk string, and near the one end of the silk string he attached the iron key. Okay, near the one end of the silk string, he attached the iron skin. Soon he noticed that the string becomes straight. Due to this, he noticed that string which is attached to the kite becomes straight, and when he brought his hand near this key, he felt a spark. So see student, what did he do? What did he does the experiment? So he was do the experiment that in 1952 during the thunderstorm he raised a kite. During thunderstorm he raised the kite which is attached with the silk string and tied to a post, and also another end of this string is attached with the iron key. So what will happen? He noticed that string becomes straight, and when he brought his hand near this key, he felt the spark which is caused by the jump of the static charges on the key. So the static charges were transferred from clouds and were accumulated on the key through this string, silk string, okay, which becomes a conducting on getting wet by the rain. So what we have to note over here, lightning can occur by the process of electric discharge either between two clouds or that between the cloud and the earth. So the process of charge accumulation on the cloud is still not fully understood by the scientist. Okay students, so this is all summarized over here. See, these are the clouds which possesses the positive charges at the topmost side and the negative charges at the bottom side, and how these trees possesses positive charge and these negative charges and positive charges get attracted towards each other. See this picture. Okay, so lightning, what is lightning? Lightning is a bright flash of electricity produced by a thunderstorm. So thunder clouds have huge amount of positive as well as negative charges. So the positive charges are the protons from at the top of the cloud, and the negative charges, that means electrons. Negative charges are also called as electrons and positive charges are also called as protons. So the positive charges or the protons from protons form at the top of the cloud, and the negative charges or electrons form at the bottom of the cloud. Okay, so due to which there occurs the striking of light. So negative charges at the bottom of the cloud causes a positive charge to build up on the earth's surface, and these positive charges coming up from the earth's surface eventually connects the negative charges which are reaching down from the cloud. Okay students, so there is also one concept that is lightning conductor. So what are these lightning conductor? So it is really easy term. So here I have not covered this term because the my aim is you get only the topic which is difficult from this chapter, that is the lightning and the static charges, how they are interconnected. So here I just take revise that what is lightning conductor. Lightning conductor, see students, just like this, which possess the copper plate at the earth side, and this lightning conductor is placed at the uppermost side of the building. So it is the device which is used to protect build from the effect of this kind of lightnings, because the tall buildings possesses the charges which are accumulated over that, and due to which they get attracted. So lightning happens due to which, so for that purpose, for protect these buildings from the effect of lightning, this device is attached at the topmost side of the buildings. So it is a metallic rod taller than the building is installed in the walls of the building during its construction. So one of the rod is kept out of the air and other end. See this, one end is at the air and the other end is buried deep in the ground. See this, okay. So the rod provides easy route for the transfer of electric charges. So whenever these charges fall on this rod, they get flows down through this rod into the earth. So these charges get transferred to the ground. So this is all about the lightning conductors. So there are also certain safety measures we can take against the lightning strike. What are these safety measures? So these are: stay inside the houses, buildings, or offices. Do not wet yourselves. Never stand in the open fields. Okay, never stand below any tall tree. Unplug all the electric appliances at your homes. Never use the landline phones as they have conducting wires. Instead of use the mobile phones during the lightnings. Okay, students, if you are traveling, so stay inside the vehicle only and close all the doors and the windows. Do not touch any conducting materials like the electric wire poles or the sheets of the shields of the vehicles. So for that, because we have to avoid the transfer of these electric charges. So these are certain safety measures we can take against the lightning conductor. Okay, thank you, students. I hope you all get all the topics related to these lightning concepts. Okay, here I first cover the static charges because these terms are really related to the lightning concept. So I hope, students, you all get this lightning concept easily. Your doubts are clear over here. So students, if you have any query regarding these topics, you can send mail to this my mail id. Okay, and students, here I again request all of you that please do your notes as early as possible, writing work of your notes, and drop that notes, worksheets, and assignments from this first video to this still video. Whatever may be the worksheets, you have to drop that on your Google Drive so that I can check it and revert you back. Okay, students, those students have sent me, I have already checked that. Okay, so you will get what are these check you will get on your Google Drives. Thank you, students.